Good afternoon, dear students.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So,
Good
dear
afternoon.
students, today at our lesson, we will speak about the intonation of disjunctive questions. So, what is a disjunctive question? What about the structure of disjunctive question? So I'm sure that you know it from the grammar of the English language, yeah, because you are learning grammar in context too, yeah, grammar of the English language. So that is why I'm sure that you know the structure of disjunctive question. So it consists of two non-final separate intonation group. Here, pay attention, I told that two non-final separate intonation group, yeah, exist in disjunctive questions. It consists of two parts, where the first part of disjunctive question looks like a statement, here. The second part of the disjunctive question looks like a general question, yeah, and the second part of the disjunctive question is called the question tag, yeah, question tag. So first of all, let me give you some example. Then you will continue turn by turn. You also will give your own examples with the disjunctive questions. Okay. For example, you are a student, aren't you? You like learning languages, don't you? This is a disjunctive question. Pay attention. The first part of this disjunctive questions looks like a declarative sentence, yeah? First, I told it looks like a statement. Statement, declarative sentence, and affirmative sentence, they are one and same things, yeah? One and same type of a sentence. And your examples now. So let me repeat my two examples once more for you. So you are a student, aren't you? You like learning languages, don't you? So these are my examples, and it's your turn. Please, turn by turn, give your own examples. Lola, first of all, you please.
You like listening to music, don't you?
You like listening to music, don't you? Absolutely right you are. In the structure, both in the structure and also in the intonation of disjunctive question. Okay, the next one, Hosiat. Your example, please.
Do you like flowers? Don't you?
No. This time I don't agree with you, because I have just explained you that the first part of the disjunctive question looks like a statement, declarative sentence, affirmative sentence, and you know that you know the structure of the affirmative sentence. Here, in the first place, there should come the subject, yeah, the subject, and then the predicate. But so you put the auxiliary verb before the subject in your example. You said, do you like? Do you like? This is a form of an interrogative sentence. But in order to make it affirmative sentence, you should omit the auxiliary verb here. In the first place, there should be a subject. It is you.
Yeah? Yes.
Please repeat your example once more, please.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct your example and repeat it once more.
I like the flowers. Or I subject. Don't you? Don't you? I like the flowers.
I like or you like.
I like.
No.
I like.
So let's correct it all together, please. You like flowers, don't you?
You like flowers? Okay. Listen.
Okay.
You like flowers?
You like flowers, don't you? Okay, thank you for your example. And Mavluda, this time it's your turn, please. Give your example, Mavluda. Asrar, get ready. Prepare your example, okay? Please, Mavluda. Your example with disjunctive question, please. Or any other volunteer? Lola?
Me.
Okay, Dila first, please. Lola, get ready.
Do you like do you like interesting books? Do you like interesting books? Don't you?
Again, I don't agree with you because you also started your sentence with the auxiliary verb. In order to make it affirmative sentence, in order to make it declarative sentence, you should start the sentence with the subject of the sentence. Yeah, the subject, not do you, but you. Yeah, it should start with you. The subject. Where is the subject of the sentence? Subject and then predicate. But unfortunately, you are putting the auxiliary verb in front of the subject. If you put the auxiliary verb in front of the subject, it will turn an interrogative sentence, unfortunately. Okay?
Okay.
So, please correct your sentence. Repeat it once more, please.
You like interesting books, don't you?
Excellent. This time you are absolutely right. You like interesting books, don't you? Yes, right you are. Lola?
You like writing essays, don't you?
So right you are. So without any mistakes, both in structure and also in the intonation of the disjunctive question. Okay, next. Any other volunteer? Any other volunteer, please, to give example with disjunctive question? Please. Please.
You read interesting book or don't you?
Once more, please. Fasiyat, repeat your example once more.
You read interesting book or don't you?
You read interesting books, don't you?
Don't you?
Right you are. Now without any mistakes. Please, Halima John. Your example. Any other volunteers to give examples? Okay, if you don't have any other examples, let me explain you the structure. I have just explained the structure. Let me explain you the intonation of disjunctive questions. Yeah, it is also called a tag question. Yeah, tag question too. So usually, as I have just explained you, disjunctive questions consist of two parts. Yeah, two parts. It means it appears here the sequence of tones. Sequence of tones in disjunctive questions. It means two types of intonation group, two types of intonation pattern. So what intonation pattern is used in the first part of the disjunctive question and what intonation pattern is used in the second part of the disjunctive question? We'll see you in the examples again. So let me give you, or let me repeat my examples once more, and at this time you should guess the intonation. Is it falling intonation or is it rising intonation in the first and in the second part of my examples? Okay? You are a student, aren't you? So what intonation pattern have I used in the first part of my example? What's your opinion? I'll repeat it once more for you. You are a student, aren't you? You are a student. What intonation pattern have I used in the first part? Is it falling tune or rising tune? What's
Following.
Yes, I do agree with you. Hosiat, is it your answer? Have you answered the question? Who answered the question? Okay, so some of you have just answered correctly to my question. And what about the second part of my example? Don't you? You're a student, aren't you? Aren't you?
Rising.
Yes,
Rising.
right, you are. I do agree with you. It means the first part of the disjunctive question is usually pronounced with the falling tune, and the second part is pronounced with the rising tune. Yeah, rising tune. You are a student, aren't you? You can speak Spanish, cannot you? You like ice cream, don't you? Yeah, so these are my examples, and it means that the first part of the disjunctive question is pronounced with the low falling intonation, and the second part of it is the so-called question tag. The second part of the disjunctive question is called a question tag, and question tag is pronounced with the low rising nuclear tone, as it looks like a general question. So if you can remember, I have ever, in my previous lessons, I explained you the intonation of, which one? The intonation of the general questions. And at that time, I told you that general questions are usually pronounced with the low rising nuclear tone. Yeah? So that is why here, in our disjunctive questions, as the second part of it, the so-called question tags looks like a general question. So they are pronounced with the low rising nuclear tone. So it means that the sequence of tones in disjunctive question is low fall plus low rise. Clear? And do take it into consideration, please. Besides this intonation pattern, another intonation pattern also can be used in the second part of the disjunctive question, which is called the question tag. So besides low rise, yeah, in the question tag, besides low rise, low fall also can be used. It means low fall plus low fall can be used in the disjunctive question. Let's clarify it when low fall is used in the question tag. When the speaker is eager to know, yeah, when the speaker shows great interest to know the response of the listener, the question tag is usually pronounced with the low rising nuclear tone. Vice versa of it, when the speaker knows the response beforehand and it doesn't expect it, doesn't expect the listener's response, in this case, the question tag, it is the second part of the disjunctive question, is also pronounced with the low falling nuclear tone. For example, you will stay to tea, won't you? You will stay to tea, won't you? In this case, if you have noticed, I have pronounced both parts of my example with the low falling nuclear tone. Why? Why have I used falling tune in the second part? Because I know that you will surely stay to tea with us today. So that is why I don't expect your response. I'm not interested in your response because I know it beforehand. So that is why I have used low fall in both parts of my disjunctive question. Understand? It means two types of intonation pattern, two types of sequence of tones can be used in disjunctive question. It is, the first one is low fall plus low rise. The second type is low fall plus low fall. Understand? Understand? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the intonation of disjunctive question. That is all, nothing else. So if you have got any questions to me, you may ask and I will with pleasure answer your questions. For now, I will share with you the book, and we will do exercises together with you, and pay attention here. Pay attention. So here, in this page, intonation of disjunctive question, yeah? And it's given models here, two examples, yeah? You met him at the club, didn't you? As I have just explained you, here in this example, both part is pronounced with the low falling nuclear tone. Pay attention to the stress mark. This is the stress mark over low fall. Yeah, this is also the stress mark over low fall. So what about these straight vertical line? What does it mean? This is a syntagm. Yeah, it means this is the mark of a separate non-final intonation group. Yeah, so this is the first part, which looks like a statement. You met him at the club. This part looks like a statement. Yeah. As for this part, didn't you? It should be, yeah. Didn't you? This is like a general question, and this part of the disjunctive question is usually called a question tag. A question tag. And here in this example, question tag also pronounced with the low falling nuclear tone. It is the sequence of tones here. Pay attention to the stress marks. Low fall plus low fall. Yeah, low fall plus low fall. You met him at the club, didn't you? Pay attention to my intonation. In both parts, you met him at the club, didn't you? So, as you have just noticed, I used low falling nuclear tone in both parts of this example. Yeah, you met him at the club. Didn't you? So pay attention now to the second example. One and the same example, only another intonation pattern is used in the second part. Yeah, you met him at the club, didn't you? Didn't you? So can you see the difference? In the first example, it was didn't you. In the second one, it is didn't you? Didn't you? Didn't you? Here is pronounced with the low rising nuclear tone in the second example. But as for the first example, it was pronounced with the low fall too. Have you noticed this difference? Yes or no? Please don't keep silent and answer my question, please. Can you see the difference in these two examples? Hosea? Or shall I repeat once more? Shall I repeat
Example?
Shall I repeat these two examples for you once more?
Once more. Okay, yes.
Stop.
You.
Lola. So, have you understood me? So, shall I repeat these two questions for you once more? Can you see the difference in intonation of these examples? Can you see the difference? That in the first example,
I see.
it was
In the first example, in the what?
low fall is used, yeah? Falling intonation is used in the question tag. It is in both parts, yeah?
Yeah, in the second, it's didn't you? There is what?
No rise, yeah? No rise. This rising intonation is used in the second example in the question tag, yeah? And you notice this difference. Good, very good. And so here it's given the rule of the intonation in this disjunctive question in the Russian language, because I have just explained you this rule in English language. Yeah. So pay attention. Now I will give you the translation of this rule in English language again once more. Разделительные вопросы, it means disjunctive question. Disjunctive question consists of two intonation groups. First intonation group usually is pronounced with the falling intonation, falling tune. Second intonation group depends, pay attention to this one, depends on the speaker's attitude. Зависит отношение говорящего. Yeah? Интонация второй синтагмы зависит от отношения говорящего. It means intonation of the second part depends on the speaker's attitude. Depends on the speaker's attitude. It means if the speaker is not sure of the response of the listener, and wants to know it, in this case, rising intonation is used in the second part, which is called the question tag. Otherwise, vice versa of it, if the speaker doesn't show interest and it doesn't expect the response of the listener, in this case, the second part, which is called the question tag, is also pronounced with the with the falling tune. This is the difference. And you will say to G, won't you? Pay attention to the second part. you will state a T. Won't you? Won't you? Won't you hear low radionuclear tone, yeah? And here, если говорящий уверен в ответе, вот его, то вторая часть произносится нисходящим тоном. If the speaker is sure of the response and doesn't expect it, in this case, the second part is pronounced with the falling tune. So pay attention to the example. You will state it, won't you? Won't you? So I'm using low intonation, yeah, low fall. I have used because I know your response beforehand. So that is why I'm not expecting your response because I know that you will surely state to T. So that is why I used low fall in both parts of the example. And so pay attention, please. Pay attention to the example here. The next exercise, yeah? Exercise 1. In the following sentences, read the statements and the text with a fall. In all examples, we should read the question text with the falling intonation. It is both parts should be pronounced with the falling intonation. So listen to me, please. There are 18 faculties at our university, aren't there? Aren't there? So, aren't there? It is the question tag. Can you see the example? Can you see?
The question.
Yeah, question tag. This part is called a question tag, and I'm pronouncing the question tag with the following information. And the second example, please. Our university is the oldest one in our country, isn't it? Isn't it? So, isn't it is also falling tune. Yes, yes, yes. Right, you are. Thank you very much. And the third example I will read. You finished school last year, didn't you? Here I know without any doubt, I know that you finished school last year. So that is why I'm not showing great interest to know your response. So that is why I have pronounced the second part of the disjunctive question with the falling tune too. Okay, the next example. He has got a new job.
May I read?
Okay, please. Be quick only, because we have less time.
He has got a new job, hasn't he?
No. Hasn't he? You said hasn't he? You used
hasn't he?
You should use low fall in both parts.
He has got a new job, hasn't he?
Or wasn't it?
Hasn't he? It should be. He has got a new job, hasn't he?
Hasn't he?
Yes, right you are this time. Okay, continue, please. Continue.
May I read?
Please.
That was most unfair, wasn't it?
Yes, right you are. Okay, continue. One more example, Lola.
We must hurry, mustn't we?
Mustn't we? Mustn't we?
Mustn't we?
Yes, right you are. This time, right you are. But for the first time, you used the rise in the question tag. Okay, continue, please. One more example. Okay, continue, please.
He teaches English.
So, who wants to read the example?
Me.
Your name, please.
Hasiyat,
Hasiyat, please read the example. The others, please listen to your intonation.
okay. He teaches English. Doesn't he?
Once more. Read it once more, please.
He teaches English. Doesn't he?
No. Because
Isn't he?
you are reading each word of the sentence with a separate intonation group. So there exists here only two non-final separate intonation group. Yeah. The first non-final intonation group here is he teaches English. The second non-final intonation group is does he. Only here, pay attention to the correct intonation in these two parts. Repeat it once more, please. Pronounce the first part with the falling tune. The second part also, you should pronounce with the falling tune. It is low fall plus low fall. There should be. Read it once more, please.
Does he? He teaches English, does he?
So now listen to me, please. He teaches English, doesn't he? He teaches English, doesn't he? So as you can see, as you have just listened to my intonation, I haven't shown interest to know your response because I know it beforehand. Yeah. So that is why I have pronounced it with the low falling nuclear tone. Both part of this example I have pronounced with the low falling nuclear tone. Okay, Lola, eighth one.
He always has lunch at 1, doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
Okay, good. Asrar, you please, next example, ninth one. Asrar.
May I?
Please.
You don't believe me, do you?
No. You pronounce do you with the low rising nuclear tone. It should be pronounced like you don't believe me, do you? You don't believe me. So I know it beforehand that you don't believe in me. So that is why I'm pronouncing the question tag with the falling tune too. Yeah? You don't believe me, do you? Both part with the falling tune should be pronounced. So the next example, we shall see each other again. Shan't we? Shan't we? Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know it beforehand without any doubt that again we will see each other. Yeah, so that is why I have pronounced the question tag with the falling tune. Okay, now let me finish this exercise, please, because as we have less time, we had no choice, had we? I know it beforehand that we don't have any other choice. So that is why I have used low fall in both parts. I was right, wasn't I? I was right, wasn't I? Today's the tense, isn't it? She has 3 children, hasn't she? I know it exactly that she has got 3 children. So that is why I'm not showing interest to know it, and I'm not. I don't expect your response. So that is why I have pronounced the question tag with the falling tune too. And the last example is, I could try again. Couldn't I? Couldn't I? So I know it that you will allow me to try again. So that is why I have pronounced the question tag with the falling tune in this example too. Okay, dear students, this is the end of our today's lesson. And have you got any questions to me about the intonation of the disjunctive question? Is it clear to you? Is it understandable?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So I will repeat it once more that the intonation, it is the sequence of tones, the sequence of tones in which one in disjunctive question is, so they can be used 2 types of intonation group, yeah, low fall plus low fall, or low fall plus low rise, yeah, also can be used in disjunctive question. So dear students, your home task for the next time is you should write 10 disjunctive questions of your own, and you should put the stress marks in your examples, and you should practice, yeah, you should pronounce all those examples of your own with the appropriate intonation. So this is the end of our today's lesson. If you haven't got any questions, the lesson is over. Goodbye.
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 Goodbye.